So we have CONVO, we have Single Mom Memoirs, we have Ratchet Aunties.
Yeah. Oh, we got Don't Be Petty Nail Bar.
Don't Be Petty Nail Bar.
Yeah.
Out of all the shows, which one do you relate to the most?
I have to go back to my baby, which is CONVO.
Join on the 7s with Ella Mac J.
It's your girl Ella Mac J here. Ella Mac J. We're on the 7s, 7 topics in 7 days and under 7 minutes. So let's get it.
Watch as she speaks on positive news, social topics, sports, and more. Tune in every Friday afternoon as she brings you 7 topics from 7 days in under 7 minutes.
It's never too late to join the convo.
Sleep too long, I need you to wake up. Wake up, it's time to get your wake up.
That was the peak when I was willing to get my feet wet, trying to be either a production assistant or a director of photography. I was trying to just put myself in those positions, learning how to do everything. But while I was doing that, I was also the on-air personality, which allowed me to showcase all of the other things that I could do, like my journalism, or incorporate comedy in it, while also telling people how to have effective communication boosters to get yourself either that promotion or that spouse or even a show of your own, just to show everyone that with the little that you have, you can become your biggest fan, like the fan of you. And CONVO allowed me to be a fan of me. I did skits, healthy living tips while giving nutritional value, giving financial literacy, news updates. I mean, not to mention I was looking fabulous, but not to toot my own horn, but beep, mother effing beep, okay? Yeah, long answer short, CONVO was by far my favorite.
Okay, so in doing all of your shows, whether it's CONVO, Single Mom Memoirs, what is a common thing that you see men suffer from, and what is a common thing that you see women suffer from?
Men really don't like when women know more than them. And it becomes problematic because he equates his knowledge with his masculinity. And I don't know how it got there. Those are two separate things. For women, I want to say that they center men in their lives and end up finding themselves when they should have done that before, putting the man before themselves.
What do you feel your purpose is in life?
That's a really good question. I'm meant to use the knowledge that I acquire and give it to those who don't have the same knowledge.
Has your goals destination changed when you first started, opposed to as it is now?
My goals change daily, if not monthly, depending on what it is. Most times when you reach a point in your life where you didn't think that you'll get, you wind up making a goal there. So most times I'm making more goals as I'm accomplishing the ones that I didn't even realize were them.
Nice, okay. It's a common phrase, new level, new demons, new level, new adversaries. What has been your experiences with that concept?
I realize the more that you start to do things that you love to do and that you have fun in, people really start to envy you because they're not doing the things that you're currently doing, even though they have the same time to do it. Each new step that I take, I look at it as I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. That's because that wasn't my real thought. That's why I lost it. I want to say each level that I get to, I learn a new skill.
Okay.
I learned something that I really didn't know that I didn't know. I know that sounds so backwards, but it's like when you find out something, you're like, oh, damn, I didn't know that. That's crazy. I can't tell nobody else that.
So they say there is a 1 in 400 of a trillion of a chance of a person being born. Knowing this, when it's all said and done, what do you think they will say about you? When it's all said and done.
So it's kind of like a eulogy?
I don't want to say that, but I was in my brain. I was like, no, I don't want to say eulogy. That's going to really turn the conversation bad. But just,
So basically, what footprint am I leaving that people will remember me by, right? It is in, and I don't want to use the word hope because hopeful is actually doubtful. So it is in great honor that I say that people will say that I am kind. I'm actually kind. And it's not because I'm trying to be, it's because I am. I'm selfless. I'm considerate. Now, if you ask any of my exes any of these questions, they would definitely not agree with you, or agree with me rather, but people would remember me for the times when they were having a bad time and I made them laugh, or the times when they were going through something traumatic and I was there for them, or maybe a time when it was financial and I assisted them, but I never threw it back in their face. They'll remember me for wanting to be in their life and to be present because I truly did want to be there.
You've interviewed a lot of different people, right?
I have.
Would you say that people more so want to be loved or feared in life?
Both. I feel like people are feared to be loved, and I feel like people who love have a hard time fearing. So when you are afraid of loving something, it shows that you don't have any self-love. Because if you had it for yourself, then it's easy for you to share with other people. And then once you have that love of your own and you are allowing people to touch you in those ways, then there is no fear. People have a weird relationship with fear, and I don't know why they want to stay connected to it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
So, the ratchet aunties.
I'm sorry to laugh. Okay, the ratchet aunties.
As we go back and we look back at the ratchet aunties, what did you take from the ratchet aunties experience?
There were so many facets. The first thing I learned is when you have a creative idea and there's two people who are also creative, sometimes there'll be creative differences. And I had to learn how to maneuver through that and still exist in the space. But sometimes the space that you're in is not the best. And I will say that that podcast did come in a time in my life when I was having a very, very difficult time. And listening back to those conversations, you can hear a reflection of those times that I was going through. I didn't publicly say anything because that's no one's business. But if you are paying attention to the tones that I'm speaking in, you can hear that there's something going on. So in that experience, I learned how to work through creative differences. I learned that when people want to talk over you, you just allow them to. Because at the end of the day, everyone is listening. So you don't have to say anything.
In doing Convo, you were behind the scenes. You were working with someone that you were romantically involved with. Mm-hmm. Looking back on that situation, what would you tell somebody that's looking to start a business with somebody that they're romantically involved with?
That's always a sticky situation, only because my situation wasn't everyone's situation. Some couples work very well together. They work better together as partners than they do as significant others. Or some work best doing both. It really just takes you to discern if that person can do both. When they say get you a person that can do both, like that's what I think they're talking about. Because why would I not want to share my world with the person that I am sharing my world with? Right. That doesn't make sense. You're only going to share a part of you? That's weird.
I hear a lot of women say this. They say, I don't have a lot of female friends because females start up a lot of drama. Why do women say that?
Because they're projecting. Okay. They're the ones that start the drama. So it's easier to say that the women around me are the problems, but there's no one around me, so I'm not the problem, they are. That's why they're not here. So essentially she's telling you I don't work well with others.
Good answer. Good answer. Do you feel that there is a difference between men and males?
Yes. Yes. So males, just meaning that the thing that makes you a male is your appendage that dangles from in between your legs. Just because you have an appendage does not make you a man. Because you have to fulfill the duties of a man. I'm not going to sit up here and riddle them off as a woman because, for one, I'm not a man. And for two, that'll just be my opinion of what I think men should do. So you can fill in the blank of what you think men should do. I'll give you my opinion, though. And my opinion is I believe a man protects his family. A man takes the responsibility for the things that he creates, whether that's people or projects. Hopefully not making people into projects.
What is your philosophy of life?
Oh, you hitting me. Got my brain oozing today. My philosophy of life is do everything that you love in abundance. Because whatever it is that you choose to do, it's going to be multiplied when it comes back to you. So if you are pouring into things that are going to multiply either negative responses or people, then your focus is wrong. But back to my philosophy, because I'll start to preach. Sorry, y'all. So my philosophy is to give with abundance. It's to receive both the good and the bad, because you can't perceive what the two are if you only have one. And to love without judgment, because love is the truest form of self.
Tell me, what was your inspiration behind creating the podcast Single Mom Memoirs?
Okay, so the inspiration for the podcast came from the first show of Single Mom Memoirs, because it was a visual show before it turned into a podcast. I was trying to find a healthy way to express my anger. People forget that creatives, people who are naturally gifted artistically, musically, lyrically, phonetically, transcribing, once you have those gifts, that you're so tortured that you have to turn that pain into purpose. So on purpose, I created a show where I could give my sons talk therapy through the skills that I knew how because I couldn't financially afford to do so. And I was also trying to show other mothers who may have been in the same situation as myself that this is how we can deal through these things together, to try to build a community of women to know that we're here for each other. I'm not here to judge you. So creatively, I was going through so much mentally that I had to make something pretty. I had to make something polished. So I learned how to edit. I learned how to get from only in front of the camera to behind the camera. I learned how to push myself to places that I wouldn't normally even try to go. So Single Mom Memoirs is basically like my second child to CONVO. And let me also say this. Single Mom Memoirs, excuse me, my voice cracked when I say it because I'm passionate. Single Mom Memoirs was named how it was named because single mothers are silenced before they even speak. We have this stigma that either we're uneducated or unwanted or damaged goods because the father of the children decided not to still be in their lives. So since I'm the parent that stayed, I wind up getting ridiculed. That's interesting. Because I'm not asking, why did you leave me? I'm asking, why did you leave the children? But then people get upset at you for asking, why are you asking him why he left? So I purposely left the name Single Mom Memoirs because I knew that people wouldn't listen to me because of the title.
Black men and black women aren't able to come together on one accord, so they play us against each other.
Correct. So a lot of people don't have worldly sense.
Yeah.
Everyone keeps talking about common sense, but who cares about common sense? People keep saying, oh, well, common is no longer common. Well, since we know that, can we stop repeating ourselves, please?
Yeah.
And just say, get some worldly sense. And if you see that person don't possess those skills, then just move accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need to keep harboring on the same thing.
Right.
Because if they didn't get it the first time, then just move on.
Mm-hmm.
Give it time to absorb, and if they don't turn around, then you just lost one.
Yeah. And